Well, hello there, YouTubers and modelers. Welcome to MFM. This is the first update for the Airfix 1/72nd scale Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1A. And thus far, we've made some progress. I think first up, a quick talk about the cockpit area. What I've done here, so assembled the cockpit. Painted the parts first, primed them before I glued them on. I've added just some small amounts of scratch on the gun sight, piece of plastic there, some transparent plastic just there on top of the gun sight, just to sort of beef it up a bit, give it a bit more interest. And some very light brown washes over the green. In the actual pilot seat, I've added some cut and folded alloy, some tiny strips of alloy or aluminium, in fact, I've cut down and stuck those in. I mean, you can use other things as well, like masking tape or Tamiya tape, similar type of thing, if you're not buying photo etch. But I don't want to get into all that. You know, it's just one of those kits that a lot of people want to build, and they don't want to be buying photo etch, they just want to make a model. So bit of gunmetal, or sorry, aluminium there on the foot pedals, aluminium paint there. So that's the little cockpit setup. I use the standard decal. I haven't done any scratch building on the actual instrument console there. So, and then it's painted up with the cockpit green. So that's that little job. That was enjoyable doing that. Not that fiddly. It all went together well. It's not that difficult. You know, any beginner can do that if he just has a bit of patience. All the parts were primed. I've been primed up on the sprue. I mean, once you take them off the sprue again, they're going to have to be touched up obviously they're going to be touched up where they're attached to the sprue. You're going to have little marks that are not painted, but you can just touch those up later. What I've done, I've given it a wash, black max acrylic wash, mixed with some thinner, clear thinner. So it's a very light wash over there, over all the main parts, like the fuselage, the wings and the tail section. And then on top of over that, what I've done there, I've painted this is actually given it two thin coats of thinned with clear, slightly darker grey acrylic than the actual factory plastic. I mean, you can see there's your colour of your sprue there, your factory plastic here, and there's the colour that I've done. So it's slightly darker, and you've got that slightly the black primer undertone just slightly showing through, so give it a nice base to paint the camouflage on. So there's on the left, you've got just your primer wash, and then on your right with your grey, your final grey layer before the camouflage, your dark green and your matte earth. So that was it's all been an enjoyable little build. It's a really nice, relaxing little kit to work on. Relaxing little kit. You know, you can basically put what you want into it. The sidewall, the fuselage sidewall details here, they paint actually on the back, just to show you there the difference again between the primed and the unprimed. So again, I've given that actually a couple of black washes there on the fuselage, and there's your original, original grey sprue colour. So, and then done some scratch building on the fuselage interior. What we've got here is I've just put a few cables in with some wire, and I've also added a few little panels, just a couple of little panels there. Done some pin washing and a few other little light, very light brown washes Same here as well. So I've got a couple of panels. You can see that. Couple of panels on there, and again some wiring. So just up here with the pilot's lever, brakes, or whatever they are. So I'd have one more look at that, and then see there. So that's basically it for this first update. Oh yeah, and also we've also been painting up all the other parts. I've started painting up separately as well on here, as you can see, on the time-honoured polystyrene. So they're all being painted up on their little cocktail sticks. You can see that. You can see it there. So yeah, they're all being painted up on the cocktail sticks. And the thing is with this, when I've painted up the parts, just for example, you know, you painted up this the propeller here. When that's, let's keep that thing. You know, once the like the propeller's been painted up, then I varnish it. Once it's dry, I'll varnish it straight away in clear matte acrylic. And I do that with all the parts. As soon as I finish painting them, varnish them in clear, because otherwise, when you're handling them, and I don't like wearing gloves, especially for a small model like this, I don't really like wearing all that gloves thing. It stops you pulling the paint surface off again. You don't want to keep making work for yourself, so it protects the paint surface. You won't rub it off with your fingers. But obviously you're making a big model that you spent a lot of time and money on, then you know, wearing gloves is a good thing, because it's going to stop you getting paint marks from your fingers over a very expensive kit. But so that's why I just varnish them, and it's a job done. So paint, varnish, and then you're minimising damage, minimising risk damage on your kit. So that's the where we'll end this video, wrap this video up today, and the next video is going to be the first update for the Airfix 1/72nd scale, the Fallen Gnat, the jet. So that'll be the next update, will be for the Airfix jet, the Fallen Gnat. So hope you enjoyed that little update, and we'll get a move on with this now, and get on next to the painting and the main assembly stages. So hopefully see you on. Thanks for listening and watching. I'll see you on the next video for the Fallen Gnat. Bye for now.